Hello queens, angels, and goddesses. Welcome back to my channel. Warning: this contains boy love, and if you don't like it then please get off my channel. Water pistol. Grinning face with cowboy hat. Despite Kyouhaba had been playing with them once again almost for a whole month now, Kyouhaba still could not believe it that Oikawa-san let him come back. He showed up on the first day of summer break at the end of afternoon practice and did not leave ever since. What was worse, Kyouhaba had the constant feeling of the other burning a hole into his nape with his gaze. Is he staring at me again? Kyouhaba hissed to Watari, who was sitting beside him in the bus. Aren't you a little bit paranoid? Watari asked back, but turned his head towards the back row anyways, and yes, Kyouhaba stared at the back of Kyouhaba's head without blinking. Yes, he does, he said cautiously, and Kyouhaba groaned. Why is he doing this? Kyouhaba whined, hiding his face in his hands. If he did not know better, Watari would say his friend was embarrassed. They say that dogs usually keep their eyes on those whom they want to mate with, Kunami said nonchalantly from the row before theirs, and they heard Oikawa wheezing. At least you do not have to worry about who will be your partner at the prom, Kyouhaba-chan, he snickered and earned a hit on the back of his head. Rude, Iwa-chan. Being a famous school was equal with that Seijo could afford that during training camp the team could stay in a 4-star hotel in Tokyo close to the gym. According to the original plan, 2 boys share one room with 2 separate beds, but when their coach turned away from the receptionist with a frown, the boys knew that something had gotten in the way. Unfortunately, the lady said that there was not enough room with 2 single beds, so 2 of you have to share a king-sized one, he said, looking from one boy to another. I hope it would not mean a problem for any of you. I have a feeling that our captain wishes that he and his Iwa-chan would be the ones who would get that room, Hanamaki whispered to Kyouhaba with a smirk. Nah, they would push the beds as close as possible anyways, so it is just the same, Matsukawa said and nodded to himself. I can hear you, assholes. Iwaizumi said on a warning voice, and Kyouhaba saw the tip of Oikawa's ears becoming as red as a tomato. Kyouhaba did not understand where all the teasing came from. If they wanted to be together, then be it. However, Hanamaki and Matsukawa-san knew the captain and vice-captain longer than him, so there was a big chance that they had already found them in compromising situations. 3 hours of hellish training and a good dinner later, the team was in the lobby again with the coach giving each of them a piece of paper. This is your room arrangement, Mizoguchi said, and Kyouhaba looked at the paper, trying to find his name. When he did, his eyes widened and snapped his head up. Oikawa was the one who decided the pairs. If you have problems with that, ask him about it, the man added, and Kyouhaba decided that he would kill his senpai the first time he had a chance. He turned towards the elevators and started walking without even looking back if his roommate was following him or not. When the elevator arrived, he had the urge to close the door right in front of the other, but he held it back. Through their short time in the elevator, he felt Kyouhata's eyes piercing the skin of his nape. He turned around with an angry noise and glared into the other boy's eyes. Stop staring at me like that. It freaks me out. He snapped, but it did not have any effect on the other. I do not like taking my eyes off of the people who mean harm, Kyouhata huffed, and Kyouhaba titled his head. I know that if I let my guard down even for a minute, there is a big chance of you attacking me in the heat of the moment of your anger. I would never do that, Kyouhaba said, then an idea came into his mind. Only if you give me a reason to. Their room was the second door of the left side of the corridor 1408, oh great. Kyouhaba opened its door with the card they got, but froze in the doorframe. Kyouhata simply walked past him, being totally unfazed by the sight that freaked the brown-haired boy out. Won't you come in? Kyouhata asked, putting his bag down to one of the room's corner. I am sorry, but don't you see that? Kyouhaba said on a panicking voice, pointing at the king-sized bed at the middle of the room. Kyouhata only shrugged, then disappeared in the bathroom. Unbelievable. Kyouhaba muttered, closing the door behind himself. They were lying in the bed, and Kyouhaba was hyper-aware of that his bedmate was not asleep. He could hear the constant ruffling of the sheets and his too uneven breath. He squeezed his eyes and tried to relax, when he felt the body beside him turning around and 2 arms wrapping around him. What the hell are you doing? He asked, shocked by the happenings. I do not fall asleep easily if it is not my own bed, Kyouhata said, and Kyouhaba had to blink because of that sudden reveal of weakness. If he wanted to be totally honest, the gesture did not make him feel uncomfortable. Yes, it was sudden and really unpredictable, but somehow with Kyoutane's arms around him, he started to feel drowsy as well. I had no idea that you were the cuddling type, he teased half asleep. Shut up, idiot, Kyoutane murmured right into his ear, and Kyouhaba felt as a shiver ran down on his spine. He really hoped that the others would not find out about how they spent the night, and would spend all the other nights of the camp as it seemed right then. Especially, Oikawa-san. Warning: this fanfiction does not belong to me, neither does the fan art. Credits to the original artist and author to the fan art and the fanfiction. Hey, Kyu does not belong to me either. Well, bye children, smiling face with hearts.